So what's up everyone? Welcome back to your channel, Brighter Life Institute. I am Alicia. I want to talk to you today about the French prophet Nostradamus and some of his prediction that he made for the year 2023. And I also would like to say some few words regarding the conflict that is happening right now in the world between Israel and Palestine. Michel de Nostradame, known as Nostradamus, was a French astrologer, apothecary, physician, and a reputed seer. He was also an INFJ, maybe one of the ultimate INFJ advocates that have existed. Michel de Nostradame, who is best known for his book Les Prophéties, a collection of 942 poetic quatrains allegedly predicting future events. Nostradamus made 7 predictions for the year 2023. Nostradamus' prediction. Nearly 5,000 years ago, a French astrologer, Nostradamus, published his infamous book, Les Prophéties, which contained 942 forecasts that appear to predict the future. According to many reports, more than 70% of his prophecies have come true so far. Here, what he predicted: global warming. For 2023, Nostradamus predicted that temperature will rise further and sea levels will rise to unexpected levels. He wrote, like the sun, the head shows Seer, the shiny sea. The black seas, living fish show all but boil. We saw some of this prediction regarding the global warming already started this year, and the claim from certain scientific that the sea is boiling to a very dangerous temperature. A new pope. Nostradamus' prediction for 2023 also include the arrival of a new pope. He predicted that the current will be the final true pope and that the next pope will cause a debacle. Celestial fire. Nostradamus also foreseen celestial fire on the royal edifice. This is thought to imply that a new world order will rise from the ash of civilization. His followers believe this could refer to the end of a time or the beginning of a new world order. Humans on Mars. Nostradamus critically mentioned the light on Mars failing. In his book of prophecy, people believe it could refer to humanity's effort to inhabit the planet of Mars, but failed to do so. Economic disaster. In his book, the French Seer predicted that so high will be bushels of wheat rice that man will be eating his fellow man. This prediction implied that an economic downturn could lead to desperation and disharmony due to rising living costs caused by high food price. And I wanted to keep those two last predictions from Nostradamus for the last. Nostradamus predicted for 2023 the resurgence or the start of a great war. Many thought that he was talking about the war between Ukraine and Russia. I am not going to go into details regarding this, but no, he is not talking about the war between Ukraine and Russia. He's very much talking about the conflict that is happening right now between Israel and Palestine. One of the first predictions for 2023 that stand out is a great war. According to Nostradamus, 7 months into the Great War, people dead of evil doing. Rouen, Evreux shall not fall to the king. Following this prediction of a great war, we got civil unrest. With the current cost of living crisis and global warming on the rise, civil unrest could reach a new high in 2023. Nostradamus predicted sooner and later you will see great change made, dreadful horrors and vengeance. Many of you that know the prophet Nostradamus know that many of his predictions are doom and gloomy. Nostradamus lost his wife and children to disease that he could not predict. After this, he went on exile, and many do not know where he went. After he came back with those predictions that many of them until today are becoming reality, and that is quite something. It's scary, if I must say. As also previously said, Nostradamus is an INFJ. INFJ become the best and the strongest and the most powerful when they are alone. But this alone also, if came at force after a loss of an essential relationship, this alone time will be filled with a lot of agony and suffering. But I don't want to really talk about this side on this video, as really time is really crucial at the moment. The situation in Israel and Palestine is touching the whole world. We have the United States, the UK, and the EU standing by the side of what we can call a genocide done by Israel. And the Palestine, nearly 2 million of people in Gaza, risk a serious attack. And as I'm making this video, fuel, electricity, food and water is being cut in Gaza. Internationally, there is a cry to free Palestine. And this makes sense. I would like the world to understand that this war that we have right now between Israel and Palestine is not like other war. We see the supporter of Israel, the EU, the UK, and the United States. And on the side for Palestine, it seems like we have the Arab world that is on their side. This war is very much a battle of faith and religion. One of the hardest battles they could be in human history. Both are really fighting for their faith in the so-called God and on the land of Jerusalem, Zion. This is a war, in my view, and many may disagree with me, but that's okay. I'm an INFJ. I'm not looking for validation for nobody. This war is a war that is blinded by egos, and the ego is not the best side of a human. There are talk about the Antichrist, that an Antichrist will come. Let me clarify that the action that is happening right now, not just on Israel's side, but on both sides, are not supporting any God that exists or existed. This is very much action against each other that is driven by evil and darkness. And so, this Antichrist that everybody is talking about is what the group is supporting. Anyone who have watched some horror movies knows that the devil like to torture those that have a great faith. The devil will attack those that claim to have faith in God. Why does the devil torment, attack those that claim to have faith in God? The reason is simple: to test the power of God and to make him reveal himself. Some evil people may do great evil things just to see if God is going to come and sort them out. Basically, defend your follower. Where are you? What are you going to do about this? The test is on both sides with Israel and Palestine. Right now, the whole world is screaming, free Palestine. The world humanity is on the side of Palestine, because clearly the Palestine right now is being treated in a dishuman and put in an incredible suffering. I'm against human suffering, but I will say that both of those sides are playing some kind of game to each other and to test each other faith and each other gods. Some of those humans have forgotten that God gave human free wills, that God doesn't live in Jerusalem, doesn't live in a temple, doesn't live in any church. The church of God and God himself live in each of us. Where is he located? In the heart. The ego that represents the devil is located in the mind of the human. Yes, God have not stopped human to decide if they're going to be good or they're going to be bad. We have two camps here, so busy battling each other to prove to one another that my faith or my God is the strongest, and if he's really your God, is so great, tell him to come and defend you. That's what is going on. It's hard to see it that way, but that's what is going on. The world is being dragged on in a stupid war. I'm sorry to say, and I'm not saying the lose of human life is stupid, but the battle is. The battle is between Christianity and Islam. It is the reason you see the United States, the UK, the EU being behind Israel, and the Arabic world is behind Palestine. Let me make a prediction of my own regarding the situation. Palestine look really in disadvantage, but Palestine is winning public support around the world, when Israel, despite they have those powerful country behind them, this is not enough. Anyone in power knows that the true power lies with the people. The sovereignty of a country lay with his people. And so, who get the public support is the one that really gonna win it. But in this situation here, that the Palestinians look really disadvantaged, they are really not. Islam is not going to let this be. We are going to really a great war that, by the way, put in danger every citizen that the United States, the UK, and the European are as a leader. The United States, the UK, and the European leaders have directly put their own citizens in the fire line by supporting a clear genocide. What they should have done is to mesurate the situation, that their integrity regarding democracy and human rights does not get affected and do not get put in question. The issue is they have lost their credibility. Nobody believes that the United States, the UK, and the European leaders are for democracy and they are protecting human rights when they are supporting a genocide that is happening right in front of our eyes. The public is not on their side. And so those are planning to retaliate and attack will now find great reason to do so, and it is the citizen of those countries that will suffer the consequence. Now let's talk about the civil unrest. The high cost of living is already here. Many again of leaders that should have stand by the citizen and listening to what is happening to their citizen, especially after 2 years of COVID. They have stood up by Ukraine. I'm not saying this is wrong, but where it is a mistake is you can stand by any country that you want, but make sure that you stand by your citizen needs and listening to what they're saying. The conflict between the European Union and Russia have raised the cost of living, fuel, and the rest in Europe. And now we also have Germany talking about having a trade war with China. It seems every move that those leaders are doing right now is to just shoot themselves in the foot. Civil unrest is inevitable. On the 15th December 2020, the Great Conjunction happened, where the planet Jupiter that represents the people and the planet of Saturn that represents the state met, and they're still in a conjunction now in 2023. The conflict between the state and the citizen is inevitable, and it's also inevitable by what is happening now with Israel and Palestine. The people have been disappointed. Their leaders are showing them that what they say that they stood for, the democracy and the liberty, the human rights, is a lie. At least that's how those events is being interpreted by many people. How can those states stand and understand the need and the right for Ukraine, but not for Palestine? Standing for human rights and refusing a genocide that is happening in front of our eyes do not make us choose any side. We're not for Israel or for Palestine, but the issue is now war. Because of the internet, we see every details. You see, if before, when those dirision, those leaders went to war, we had the internet and we saw what they did as a genocide and how they treated the people in those countries, we would have reacted the same. But we didn't have the information. All this genocide only came after, and it was too late. But this is not the case here. We are seeing what's happening, and that makes us all part of this. If we don't make our voice heard, we are part of this. The word in discovering what happened to the Jew during the Nazi in Germany said, and I still remember that day, never again, never again. And here, those leaders are trying to make us take on a pill that they say themselves that this would never happen again. We don't really care about what they're fighting about. We just cannot stand by and watch 2 million of people being starving to death and being killed. This is something really difficult for many of us to accept. We don't go to the details, why this is happening, who is wrong, who is not. It's just the fact that the way this is getting done is really causing great human suffering in all of us that we cannot stand by. And the consequence to not stand by is also being disappointed by our leaders to see that they claim to chasing monsters to make the world a better place, but then we see that they are supporting the monsters, and they are monsters themselves. It is when big issues gonna happen. The civil unrest is inevitable. It's gonna come because people also are suffering right now all over the world. People are really having a problem to pay their home, to buy food, to just live a simple life. It is not a life of luxury. The government are not listening to them, that their salary is not enough to afford things, and the government are pumping money into war that they should not be involved in. Maybe they should console and advise, but like Ukraine, billions and billions and billions is pumped to Ukraine. A war that's right from the start cannot be won. Ukrainians have been sent to slaughter. They cannot win this war. A peaceful agreement could be found to save lives. And this is what we realize with all of this, is how much those leaders are not valuing human life, just valuing the interests and whatever political things they have between each other, whatever political arrangement they have with each other. They are ready to back up Israel doing at all cost. That is wrong, and that will cost them greatly later with the citizen. This is what I wanted to talk about today. We need to be extra careful how we are taking our information regarding the situation in Israel and in Palestine. Yes, the situation is wrong. There is absolutely nothing to say about that. But both of those parties are in a battle that we need to be careful to not take on too much on. Their battle is to prove to each other that their faith, their God, their religion are stronger than the other. They have forgotten, and many of us have, God. Yes, He exists and is in each of us. From the moment you feel you have to live in a misery, and when you look how those people from Israel or Palestine live, they've been under a great trauma. A great trauma. They don't have really peace in there. Those that are committing murder, genocide, suffering, are not doing it on the name of God, but they are under the influence of the dark side. If some of those people are hoping that the Antichrist is going to bring peace to this region, just know that from the moment the Antichrist will reveal himself, the great Archangel General Michael will come, and it will be a battle. The battle will never end. Humanity is not supposed inflicting suffering to each other. Those that believe that it's okay to kill another because your faith demands it. You're not serving any God. You're serving the devil. You are serving the devil. And for those that don't know that and are doing exactly that, it's because you are already lost. The devil have a complicated life, complicated lie, different version. Light is one. Lights heal. The devil just torment. And you have what we're seeing right now in Palestine, what we're seeing right now in Israel. Humanity is going to go through a very difficult time. It was predicted already by Nostradamus. It started on the 21 December 2020, the prediction we have entered in this time. It was also the time of the age of Aquarius. Nothing to do with the sign, the star sign of Aquarius. But Aquarius represents humanity. Sagittarius, the people from the Sagittarius star sign, will be very much also involved with this. They are involved with religion and humanity, but not as much than Aquarius. And we have also the star sign of the Capricorn that represents the state. A battle will happen, but it is obligatory to happen as we are going through a new age. This is not going to go smoothly. The citizen need to remember the power always lies with them. It doesn't lie with the UN Council. It doesn't lie with the EU. It doesn't lie with the president. It doesn't lie with any of the elected people. The power is always with the people. And so the people need to voice what they want. But to be worried about not being manipulated. We could be manipulated to defend one side and not to see that both sides are wrong. The war between Israel and Palestine is wrong. This is a battle where, well, an arrangement can happen, but both sides just want one thing. This is what humanity gets dragged on for a piece of land by two sides that are manipulative. We need to be careful, and we need to know how to prioritize what is important for us and for humanity. I will say the most important issue right now that we all need to focus on is global warming. Global warming is the most dangerous thing there is right now. The battle between those two. Yes, we need to stop them to kill each other for sure. But global warming have started and it's not going to stop because we haven't done anything to stop it. All those bombs, those killing, those suffering is adding up to a problem with the global warmings. If we don't have a planet none of us will be alive. And that is the reality. This should be our priority. And yes, for all those leaders that's out there and still to pump in billions to wars, pump the billions into your citizen, show humanity. But some of those leaders right now have failed. They are already done. They are already finished. The citizen, many of them, no longer trust them, no longer believe in them, are seeing what they're really worth. And yes, a civil unrest and a great battle is inevitable. I thank you today to have watched your channel Brighter Life Institute. I am Alicia. Remember, the people is the power in their country, and they must voice it. They must voice what they want. And yes, voicing that the price, the cost of living right now is destroying life, is not affordable, is the right things to do. If leaders want to go to battle, why do they don't send themselves and their son and their family to battle a war on their name? We should not be wasting time on useless wars that is not going to bring anything. There is no end and no real resolution to the conflict between Israel and Palestine, because this conflict is really driven by egos and by kind of manipulation between both sides to get humanity join them, to get people to be convinced about their faith. It's really, I have no word for it. I leave it here. I'll see you on the next video. Bye.